Assalamualaikum. Today I'll be sharing the 3 essentials which could change your life. And you need to follow these things. You need to bring these 3 things an essential part of your life. If you want to achieve something in your life. So you need to follow these things. The very first thing is the commitment to change your life. If you're really willing to change your life, you need to drop your fears. You need to drop the things you are holding off, and because of that weight, because of that hold, you're not able to do things up. You're not able to do great things up. So the very first thing is that you need to drop all your weights. You need to drop all your fears, your greeds, and your undesired things. And you need to be very much focused towards that what you're looking and you're going forward. So the very first commitment you need to do with yourself is that from today I'll be changing my life. And this is it. This is it. I couldn't live this type of life, and the best thing a human could have is a change. And the best thing a human could give is a change. So I'm just here to give you a changed life. That you need to think about it, you need to believe in this, you need to go for it, and you can have it. It's simple, but the things you need to follow this. You need to follow these 3 things to change your life. And I can commit to you that for the coming year, your life will be changed. The second essential of changing your life is that you need to visualize. You need to imagine what you want to achieve. You cannot be a doctor, you cannot be an engineer, you cannot be a businessman, you cannot be an entrepreneur. You cannot be a sportsman if you cannot visualize yourself. You need to believe that. You need to bring yourself into the soul of that person for which you are going for. For instance, if you want to be a sportsman and if you want to be a cricketer, how you can become a cricketer? If you're not believing yourself while bowling, or if you're not believing yourself while batting as one of the greatest batsmen or bowlers, if you cannot imagine, if you cannot feel yourself, how you can achieve that? You cannot achieve that thing. So the very essential thing to do anything is to imagine. We are living here in the 21st century right now. We are building one of the greatest buildings, infrastructure, architecture, technology. The human mind could not have ever been imagined about this type of technology. So, how you can do this up without imagination? You cannot do this up without imagination. So this is the strongest thing you could have before doing anything is, first you need to imagine that. Whatever you want to be. But you need to decide at the same point, you need to decide that what you want to be. So the first thing is that you need to determine, you need to be committed, you need to take oath by yourself, from yourself. And after taking a commitment, after taking an oath, the second thing is that you need to start working on what you want to be. So for this, the very first thing is first decide what you want to be. So with the decision, you need to imagine yourself in that. A king cannot be a king without imagination. No one could have achieved anything without imagination. Imagine that it takes about how long it takes about some 5,000 years to design the wheel. And from this wheel, we are flying into the air. So this is one of the greatest world inventions, the wheel. And this all happens because of the imagination. Imagination. Imagine. You can think about it that the thoughts become reality. You can think about it, the thoughts become reality. And this is the most miraculous thing a human could have. Human invent things, human can create things, human can build things up. And it all started from imagination. Can you believe it? Can you think about it? That it all started from the imagination? One of the greatest, and I love cricket so much, one of the greatest games in sports. And there is so much similarity between cricket and chess. And have you ever seen any cricketing player while batting or bowling? And can you believe this? That most of the bowlers do outswing, in-swing, reverse swing. So that means the ball swings into the air. Some stays, some go out towards, away from the stumps or in towards into the stumps. And reverse, that forces goes out and came back into the stumps. So, can you believe this? About 90-95% of the bowlers have been asked regarding this. And they were all on the same page. That if you cannot imagine that your ball is swinging, your ball will not swing. You need to believe in this up. You need to have faith in yourself that once you're throwing this up, the ball will get swing. How can a person could make a home run in baseball without imagining that he's going to hit this up for a home run? Nothing. It's a trash for him. If someone says that he accidentally hits the home run, there could be some thoughts, imagination into his mind to go for it. A cricketing batsman used to do batting with perfection. One of the greatest legends in cricket used to have batting. And what they do, that they play superbly for the cover drives, for bouncers, for short pit balls, for Yorkers. Wow, how does come? That were they born with these abilities? Were any soccer player being born with that ability? To go for the goal? No. They all imagine themselves to that pitch, to that stadium, and to that stage. So this all happens because of the imagination. And this is the key, the second essential step towards success. And here comes the part. The imagination and the preparation collectively brings you success. How can a cricketing batsman in a few milliseconds could play an astonishing shot? Because he needs to decide within a few seconds that where he is going to play that out. Because he has prepared himself He's been doing practice since. You could not have you imagined about it? That the sportsman practice is depending on the decades. An average sportsman practices half the decade. That is about 5 years. You could not have been, you have Mike that player is in front of you because he's in their debut on international scale. But have you been following that player since he was a child? Because he was playing that sport from his childhood. So, what makes a person strong? The practice. And there is a correlation between imagination and practicing. So once you're practicing yourself and preparing yourself, you need to stay with imagination. That you're doing your practice like you're doing something on the international level and you're doing something on an international scale. So you need to stay with that practice. You need to bowl, you need to bat, you need to run like the millions of audience is watching you on the television. You need to do things up like that. So this what makes the third essential, that is preparation and practice. Practice to such an extent that no one can beat your hard work. And this is one of the most hardest things. People could be committed that from today I'll be changing myself. People could be imagining that I need to achieve that up, I need to be like that one. People could be visualizing that thing. People could be believing in having faith on that. But the third most essential thing is practice and preparation. So preparing yourself to that stage, to that moment for what you have been dreaming for. And this is one of the most hardest things in the life. The third essential is the world's hardest thing. That you need to practice alone. When no one is watching you. You need to prepare yourself alone. When no one is watching you. You could have been building something and you could have been developing some website. You could have been developing some design. You are actually learning, studying about what you want to be, a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. When no one is watching you, when no one is aware of you, that he would be a future great doctor, he would be a future great engineer, he would be a future great politician, lawyer. You need to prepare yourself. And this is the time. And this is the time I'm actually telling you that you are living into the greatest times of the Lord. When you can have something which you could have imagined, you can see by yourself in a very little time. But you need to practice that out. Stop following that trash. Stop following that shortcuts to earn these bucks in a small time, to earn such bucks in a small time. Stop living that life. Design your life to one of the greatest paths. And for that, first thing is commitment. The decision where you need to change your life. The second thing is that imagination, that you need to imagine, visualize, and believe in yourself that you could be achieving that thing. And the third, the most hardest thing is the practice. And most people, I can guarantee you that 80% of the people left everything, lose their dreams, and fall into the nightmares at this stage, the practice. Stop thinking about that if you're going for something and initially you're getting a very low income. Initially you're getting a very small job. Stop thinking about it. You need to be still on that path. which could lead to one of the greatest successes. A success is a very different definition for everyone. Success could be, if something is successful for anyone, might that would not be success for me. But you need to be on that path. You need to be on that road to hit patiently, persistently, daily. And practice is something which gives you grace and you become graceful. So go, follow these 3 steps. Commitment to change your life. Imagine what you want to be and visualize and have belief in yourself. And the third essential is practice to become the master of that thing. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribing. Wakash Qureshi. Bye-bye.